Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, I hope you're all good. So we're back at it with another episode of High Gain Harmony. This is episode 5. It's been a little while, but I've had a few things going on in my life which have meant I've had to postpone the shooting of High Gain Harmony until right just now. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, thank you for coming by. If you're new to this series of videos, it's called High Gain Harmony, and it's where I take 2 amplifiers from my current collection in my studio. They're all mainly high gain heads. I take 2 amps and see how well they blend together. In this episode, we're going to be taking the Victory Superkraken, or VX100, and teaming it up with the Revv Generator 120 Mark II. Let me explain the signal chain really quick. Both amplifiers go into their own respective reactive load IR. That runs into Logic, and then I run 2 instances, one for each amp, of Archetype Nolly from your DSP for the cabinet section so that I can virtually mic up a cab how I want to get the sound exactly how I like it. I've got my Schmidt Array pedal board, which has got all the Strymon stuff in the loops of both amps in stereo, and then I've got all my stomp boxes running through the front into each amp respectively, so we can try loads of different tones. And of course this is called High Gain Harmony, so we will be checking out their high gain blendings, but also I love doing the push clean ambient thing with a bit of crunch, a bit of hair on the tone, with loads of reverb and delay, so we're going to try that too. And that's basically the gist of this video. So without further ado, let's check out High Gain Harmony episode 5 VX100 versus the Revv Generator 120 Mark II. Alright, so the guitar I'm using today is my ML3 Beer Signature, the older one, the Smoke model. It's got my silo in the bridge, and it's just got pearly gates in the neck actually, with the coil split. Just thought fancy a change. First thing we're going to do is try out the crunches. So I've got VX100 on a crunch, and I've got the Revv Generator on its green channel, which is crunch. And I've kind of dialed in similar EQ settings, and I haven't tested anything yet. So we'll hear both amps by themselves, and then we'll put them together. So here we go. This is a Superkraken on a crunch. And here comes the Revv Generator on a crunch. And here they are both together. That's actually really interesting because they almost just sound like the same. Like together, I know that sounds really stupid because they definitely didn't sound the same before, but together as one. Very, very similar characteristics in the high-end response and the sort of presence of it all. I think the Generator's tiny bit got more presence, but anyway, let's throw on some reverb and delay because you know how I like that. So my first impressions listening to the crunch channel on both is that they really blend well together. I'm really impressed with how well they're blending together. Bearing in mind this is the first time I've heard them together, My one criticism, well, it's not a criticism, it's just part of the issue of using different amplifiers and different amplifier architecture, is that the effects loop on the Kraken sounds way louder than the Revv. And I know it's got a effects level send on the back, which I've got, and I've tried it at 3/4 because sometimes that is full wet and then it favors dry. But in this case, I don't think that's the case. So I've put it on full. It's coming out of there more. Or your left ear should have more reverb. So that is one of the main reasons why when I've played Tosca and generally use stereo rigs, I use two of the same amp. So I've always used the VX or the VX100s in a pair, because I know the effect suit level is going to be the same, because I want that stereo image to be really, really nice. So that's my only gripe here. You could do things to maybe help that, but in this instance, just plugging the two into my stereo rig. I love the sound of how well they're blending, but that is a bit of a problem for me, is the level difference between the two effects loops. So we've tried part 1 of the High Gain Harmony episode 5, which is to do like a crunchy thing with the ambience and stuff. I'm really happy with the way they're blending. We're going to go into the high gain now, of course. But before we do that, I am just going to throw on the Thunderclaw in this rig, because the crunch channel with a bit of reverb and delay, and the Thunderclaw, because it is such a beast. So this is without it. So now on to the high gain part, which is kind of the point of this video. I'm going to be taking gain 2 of the VX100, and I'm going to be taking channel 3, the purple channel of the generator. I've thrown a couple of the switches on because I like the aggression switch. I think that will help with the blending of these two amplifiers. So firstly, let's listen to the Super Kraken. And here is the Revv. And here is both. Really great chord definition going on. Yeah, that's a great blend. I'm just going to say that now. It's a really, really good blend. It's, yeah, these two amps really work together on high gain. That's ridiculous. So I've got the JHS Bonsai because I don't own a TS9, but I've got it on the TS9 mode. So let's see what happens when we throw the Bonsai TS9 circuit on. Sounds sick on the riffs. Let's try some lead. All right then, guys. Well, there we go. There is episode 5 of High Gain Harmony with the Generator 120 Mark II and the VX100 Super Kraken from Victory. I'm really impressed that these two blend as well as they do together. The one tiny thing that I've got to say is that the effects levels is a bit annoying because one side's louder than the other, and there's not really much I can do about that. Anyway, that aside, when we're blending the crunches of both channels, I was really impressed with how nice and even everything sounded. The response, the pick attack, the feel, the saturation, you know, I dialed it in relatively similar to each other, but I was really enjoying how much they sounded like each other in a way. You know, the Revv had a little more clarity, the Kraken had a little bit more depth, and I think overall that created this one continuous fat sound where it didn't necessarily sound that obvious, like it was 2 amps blended, aside from the obvious stereo thing. But the high gain, again, really well paired together. I was using channel 3 with the aggression switch on red, and I've got the fat switch in to beef it up, and then just running the gain 2 Kraken as it is about halfway, and wow, what a sound it had together, especially when putting that TS9 circuit in. Really grunty. The lead was a wonderful saturated feeling lead. I had the tube screamer on there. You were getting nice harmonic overtones. Yeah, really nice, responsive, thick, and a smooth overall sort of gain structure with a nice amount of honky mid-range aggression there. So yeah, can't really complain about the way that sounded. And I'm definitely going to look to that combo when we're in the studio again next time, blending those two together, because that was really good. So I'm really impressed with that. Obviously, I'll link the amps in the description box below. If you've not tried a Revv Generator before, you should try one, because they're really good. And of course, so is the Super Kraken, but we all know that I love the Super Kraken. In any case, that is High Gain Harmony episode number 5. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please put some more suggestions in the comment section below of amps that I can get together. I'm hoping to get hold of a twin sister very soon. I've got the Revv G20 as well, and I've got the Revv Generator 120R, I think it is. In any case, I've got a bunch of other amps. I've got the Mini Invective as well. In any case, please suggest pairs of amps that we can try out and get another High Gain Harmony episode for you guys. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a lot of fun for me, nice and enjoyable to shoot, and the tones are always really pleasing. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and share. Links in the description box. I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.